After an exhausting and dramatic end to the season, we fell just short of winning promotion to the championship. And I mean, it was so agonising close after going up 3-0 in the playoff final. It still is. It still is gutting. But I'm pushing on. I'm going straight on into the off season, and we will have a end of season review and a transfer special for you guys. So yeah, still heartbreaking to lose by such fine margins as well. But we've got to continue, and it must go on. So yeah, it's time for end of season review and transfer special before the our sixth season in as Farnborough FC in League One. All right, so for our fifth place finish in League One, £100,000 will be paid out between the squad and the backroom staff. But for our participation in League One as part of the Solidarity Payment Scheme, we will receive 723,000. So if we just say it's 600, because 100,000 of that is going to be paid out straight away. And if we just jump over to our finances, we have £1 million in the bank again. How long it will stay like that, I do not know. And whether we make any more from player sales is a question that will be answered shortly. But it's good to see money in the bank again. We're going to have to see whether our sponsorships go up. Surely our reputation is going to go up. Hopefully we might even see a 2-star reputation. That would be nice to see. But yeah, so that is money in already. It's a record high finish for Farnborough, our first time in League One. So yeah, our record is 5th place in League One at the moment. Let's just have a look at here. Sky Bet League One goal of the season. We didn't win it, but we were in contention with Preston Fearon. He actually had 2 goal of the month's awards, but unfortunately neither of those came good enough for goal of the season. But it's good to be in there. I don't know if Preston will really be having anything to do with the squad next season, though his contract, he does have another year. So, I mean, he might just be a fringe player if he doesn't go anywhere. And Calface wins League One Manager of the Season. Oh, wow. All right. Okay. I'll take it. I don't know how, but I'll take it. Yeah, I mean, we didn't win promotion, we came 5th, but I mean, I'll take it. Thank you very much. Thank you. And player of the season. Yeah, congratulations from Kelly. Will you just allow someone rich to buy the club already? Daniel Kelly, that would be lovely if you could. Right, Farnborough player named in Players Team of the Year, and that player is Armani Richards. And look at all these Burton players. Wow, they pretty much make up the whole entire team. And then there's 1 Preston player, 1 Farnborough player, and 3 Barnsley players as well. That is absolutely outrageous. I mean, they did run away with it in the end. I think they didn't win it too early, I don't think. I think they were crowned champions 2 games from the end of the season, but they won it on 92 points. Preston squeezed in at the end of the last day of the season on goal difference. And then we obviously know the Peterborough were the other team that go up. But hey, right. And yeah, let's move on. All right, well, we've been given our initial budget for next season. The wage budget is 39,000 a week with a transfer budget of 260,000. It's not very good. It's basically the same as what it was last year, the wages. I think we were on, 36 or 37. So maybe enough for 1 extra player's wages, maybe. it's not very good. And 260,000, obviously that could be moved across to wages as well. And I know it's not set in stone yet, especially we need to see what other finances we get coming in. But yeah, it's not brilliant considering what we achieved last season, 5th place, and all we were hoping for was to avoid relegation. Now, I get it, finances are restricted because we've only got a 5,000 capacity stadium and we can only bring in so much because of that limitation. It is a bit of a shame, but we're just going to have to do the best we can. And it's time for our end of season review for the 2027-28 season. Let's have a look. Right, new arrivals. So it was a busy season in transfer market, and it's safe to say there was also some good business done in bringing in new key new signings who contributed hugely to the season's success. Right, so our signing of the season is Mohamed Sinan Kea, and I'd have to agree with that. Paid £80,000 for him from Farnborough, which was probably a bit of a gamble at the time, because we probably didn't really have the money to be thrown at it, really. But I think he's been worth it. 14 goals and 12 assists. I'm a little bit surprised that Armani Richards didn't get it ahead, considering he had a contribution of 18 goals and 14 assists in one fewer appearance, actually, and a slightly higher average rating. So interesting, but I guess it is what it is. But all very good. Sebastiano wasn't too bad altogether. I mean, he did manage to just squeeze in a 7, just over a 7 rating, and chipped in with 18 goals and 6 assists. So hopefully, now he's 20, he can potentially kick on a little bit, down in a little bit of bravery due to his injury. But it would be nice if he can kick on in his development, because since he came in, he really hasn't moved up in his abilities at all. So it would be nice. It would be nice to see that happen. Some other good signings. Obviously, Owen Foster came in late as a goalkeeper backup after the little player riot we had. And Tansman Rogers, very good. In from FC Bayern, but now has interest from other teams. And Lars Gindorf as well. He proved very helpful as well. Al Amin Kazim as backup for Elijah Morgan as well, did very, very well for us. As did Zach Ritchie, Dean Hoy as well. Charlie Olsen, not so much. Very disappointing, really. Charlie Olsen, had high hopes for him, but he just didn't perform as well as I'd hoped he would. But anyway, yeah, plenty of good signings. None of them were real out and out flops. None of them really. They all came in and played a good part for us getting to where we did this season. So the season results. So Borough consistently defied the odds from the outset, securing a playoff place, but were unable to finish the job at the end of the campaign. Are determined on reminding me how heartbreaking that end was, aren't they? Yeah, we did very well. Definitely defied expectations. Average home attendance of 4,945 and 96% capacity, which is very close to probably warranting a stadium expansion. Probably need another season or two of that before they'd even consider it, if I'm honest. Top goal scorer for Farnborough was Armani Richards with 18 goals. And border please that the team reached the final of the Sky Bet League One playoffs. They only give you a C+ for that. That is absolutely diabolically outrageous. C plus for getting 5th place and getting to the playoff final and almost clinching promotion to the championship. They can go and kiss my ass, because that should be A plus all day long. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the board at the moment. I'm really not. I'd quite like someone different to come in, because they're tight. I'm not sure they're the most supportive, and to only give our efforts, I mean, it's disrespectful to the players, let alone me. So yeah, and it's not very nice. Right, moments to remember for the season: a 6-1 away victory against Harrogate. That was nice. That was in the FACup. A 1-1 draw. Why was that memorable? 1-1 draw away to MK Dons. I have no idea. Seems like a pretty forgettable game, if you ask me. Goal of the season was Preston Fearon's goal against Peterborough. And the finances. Right. So, club reputation. I mean, it's still showing as 1.5 star there, but we've got to really tick over into new season for it to really have any change and effect at this point. Right, so the annual revenue was up across the board, quite considerably in places, probably, almost doubling in some areas. But yeah, match day commercial and retail up from nearly 300 to over 400. Competition prize money was up a little bit, but still is not, not even breaking the 100,000 mark for competition prize money is real disappointing. That if we're gonna, without selling players, that's where we need to get the money from. Corporate and hospitality up from 78,000 to 126,000. Broadcast revenue is up from 293 up to 445. Nice big jump for that. And sponsorships were up from 69.5 to 131,000. Merchandise sales, 124,000 pounds, and 12.4 for non-domestic sales as well. So we are expanding worldwide, it would seem. Shirt sales, 1,961 shirts sold. Very nice. Yeah, Iro, Reggie Reginato, Richards, Mohammed Sinan, and Mackenzie all sold well. Right, and this is how we lined up mostly for the season. It did change a lot, but sort of Finley, Herrick in goal. Really? Did Kazim get more play at left back than Elijah? I'm curious about that one. We'll see. Taylor Foran, Tasman Rogers, Harry Lee, Dean Hoy, Cafu, Zach Ritchie, Armani Richards, Sebastiano, Reggie Reginato, and Mohammed Sinan Kaya as well. I mean, it's a very good team, if I must say, right there. But we will be without some of those faces next season. That is without a doubt. The accolades, your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded to our end of season award ceremony. Yeah, so I got the manager of the season. Thank you very much. I think that's my first one. I've had a few manager of the months, but first manager of the season, I think. I might be wrong. Right. Fans player of the season is Armani Richards, with his 7.1 average rating. Young player of the season is Armani Richards. And signing of the season is Mohammed Sinan Kaya. And goal of the season, Preston Fearon. Right. There's Armani Richards, with top goal scorer. Still not really got anyone breaking 20. Would be really nice next season. Get someone to be in that 20 to 30 ballpark for goals scored. That would really change things for us. Most assists, Armani Richards with 14. I mean, he really is the standout player for us this season. Most player of the match awards, Armani Richards with 8. Highest average rating, Armani Richards with 7.1. And Niall Timpson comes in as an oddball with most passes completed per 90 minutes with 60. All right. Record breakers, right? Most player of the match awards with Armani Richards with his 8. Youngest player was Miles Englefield. I mean, he's another one. We were just ravaged. He's not a player that's going to be at all a player for us. But hey, highest transfer fee received, Jamie Ash with £400,000 coming in for him to go to Bristol City. And our oldest goal scorer is Cafu at 34 years old, 246 days. Right, history in the making. Yeah. All good. Yeah, very successful. Very successful. Very disappointing in the end. I think the biggest thing I could take from this is, we got close. We were much higher up than I was ever expecting at the beginning of the season, and I got manager of the season, so I am happy with that. So that is the end of season review. We have got players inducted into the Farnborough overall best 11. So let's have a look at this on the big screen. Alfie Roberts retains his place in goal. Elijah Morgan at left back. Taylor Foran in centre back alongside Kanye Jobson. Harry Lee at right back. Oliver Pendlebury retains his position in central midfield alongside Hammond Chambers Borgness, and Saeed retains his place at right on the right wing. Tom Olliott retains his place on the left wing. Oyatunde retains his place up front, and Oliver Iro as well. So it's just, I think it's literally probably Taylor Foran is the only one that's come in now and got a place. I know some of these players are definitely going to have retired by now. Alfie Roberts at Swansea. Very much going to be a backup player there. Right, Kanye Jobson, you are still rocking around at Alfreton. Oliver Pendlebury has retired at the age of 24. Hammond Chambers Borgness is at Morecambe, enjoying getting 1,300 a week there. Salim Saeed is at Carnarvon. Oyatunde, obviously, he's still at Oxford United, but was playing at Crawley this season. Did he have a relatively successful season? I think he would have done better with us, but hey. And then Oliver Iro. Who else is on this list on the subs bench? Finley Herrick makes it to the bench. David Okagbu on the bench as well. Harrison Dudziak, what are you doing with yourself now? Boreham Wood, getting yourself 1,300 a week. Is not too shabby. Salim Akambi has retired at the age of 23. It's a shame. Ewan Pollock is at Sutton. Danny Imre, he is at Peterborough. Yeah, so we've met him a few times this season. And then we have Zach Henry also makes it to the bench as well. So a few players have made it into the dream team. All right. That's all done. Right. Supporters profile. We have lost some social media followers, unfortunately. How have we lost 11,500 followers when we've had our best ever finish? That is mightily disappointing. Not sure how much sway it really has on anything, if I'm honest. Right, 12% of our fans are hardcore, 33% the core supporters, 23% family, 13% fair weather, 0% corporate, 19% casual. and nearly 1,000 season ticket holders. Hopefully we'll see that surpass the 1,000 this year, which will be actually really good, considering that'll be 20% of our entire stadium capacity as season ticket holders. Right. The club vision and expectations. Right. I think I'll probably go through all of this admin-y stuff, and yeah, and then yeah, I'll come back with anything relevant. But we'll probably make our way through and start looking at signings for the next season. Okay, we got big news, and that is we have had on request our number of scouts increased. So I'm hoping I can get a bit more worldwide scouting. It's not going to quite be worldwide, but I don't know. I'll see who's out there willing to come to the club, and I want to expand the possibility of where we get some players from, especially if we're talking young players. But the big news is stadium expansion plans announced. The board have announced plans to enlarge the stadium by 2,913 seats. Initial estimate indicates that the planned work will cost around 3.4 million. Additional funding for the project has been secured with a 1.7 million pound grant from the authorities. It is expected that these works will take around 9 months to complete. While this development work is undertaken, the club will relocate at the recreation ground, which is the home ground of our local fierce rivals, Aldershot. So yeah, that's an interesting one. We'll be sharing the ground with them, but we won't be sharing a league because they're in the Vanarama National League. So yeah, so we got a ground share for the next season, and it will cost us, I think. Farnborough have agreed to rent the recreation ground next season. All right, it's an old stadium, you know. It's well, just celebrated 100 years last year, so it's not an old, and it has room for 7,350 supporters. I don't know what R1 does. It actually say what R1 is going to be. It's going to be finished in mid-February. I don't know what. Is there any way to find out? No. Right. Due to move back into the 8,025 capacity Saunders Transport Community Stadium after planned expansion. So that is yeah, so that is an extra 2,913 on top of the 5,112 that we already had. So yeah, that is an extra what like 60% again capacity. So obviously revenue plus 60% if we can there and thereabouts fill the stadium. So yeah, that'll be really great moving forwards financially. Obviously we're going to have a hell of a loan out for the stadium as well, and then it's going to cost us over 70,000 to use the recreation ground as well. Do we have that as a loan in? Yes, we do. 1.7 million pound loan, and that's going to cost us 18,000 a week. Hopefully by the time we're in the stadium we can, you know, fill that monthly payments with the extra capacity that we have at the stadium. But yeah, that's nice. It's nice to see us reach that point. Very exciting. So I'm going to see if we can get ourselves some new fancy scouts and start seeing if we can find some nice players for next season. All right, we've had our scholars announced for 2028, and nothing outstanding, I suppose. But we do have this one top talent, Dean Saunders, at 15 years old. I mean, he's looked like he's got some good mental, physical, technical, and vision attributes. So there's potential there, and potential up to sort of 3 or 4 stars, which would put him on par with players like Lars Skindorf and Mohamed Sinan Kea as well, and potentially Armani Richards. But I'd say he probably will end up being a bit more like a Lars Skindorf mold kind of player. But we will see. He's only 15 years old. Everyone else probably not that exciting. Ben Ward, goalkeeper. Seth Chatty. Just nothing terribly exciting. So we'll see how this Dean Saunders develops over the next couple of years. But yeah. I've got some responses from the board about some other requests. I'm assuming they're probably going to be a hard slap in the face. No. Right. Rejected for improved youth recruitment, unfortunately. So we're still not going to be sort of attracting any sort of higher caliber youth players at the moment. Planned training facilities, though, that is accepted, and that is even more money. So we're probably back down to almost like zero money. I'm pleased to announce the plans are in place to upgrade the Grow Up Club's training facilities. This is expected to cost in the region of $750,000. Construction work is set to begin on 15th of the 7th, 2028, and is scheduled for completion by September 2028. So just a little bit into the start of the season, and we have upgraded training facilities. And another request as well, they have agreed to for me to appoint a technical director, so I can put them to work, to quietly work in the background, at always trying to make sure we've got the best staff in the club possible, and take work and responsibility off of myself. I do like being able to get a technical director. I mean, you can do all the work yourself. It just takes a lot to, go through all your stuff. If you got, I don't know, say, however number of coaches on, going through all your coaches and seeing, who's probably got the lowest level, and, then going out there and seeing, is there anyone better that can bring him in their place? Now I don't need to do that. I can find a technical director to do that for me. So that is really great. So we are indeed up to a 2-star reputation, and hopefully we will be up to a 2-star training facilities as well. So that is all great news. We are still heading in the right direction, and hopefully by the end of next season, things will be looking a lot better for us in a bigger stadium, better reputation, better training facilities, and hopefully more money coming through the door as well. All right, so a bit of financial news. So the club will not be facing an additional tax bill for the upcoming financial year based on the financial records of the previous 12 months. And I'd love to know how we done that, because if I knew, then I'd try and do that every year. Save some tax money going out. But I'm assuming it's probably a big part to do with all the money spent really on training facilities, stadium expansion, etc., etc. And the fact that we pretty much got no money now. Money came in, money went out. I guess that is football for you until you reach a certain level. But we do have an update on our commercial side of things. So attached is a report of the club's recent commercial activity. In general sponsorship, we have a 1-year deal at 14,000, and I can't remember what that was. Yeah, not sure what that was. But overall annual revenue totals, sponsorship is up 131,000 from 69 and a half. And broadcast revenues was, well, this is all end of season sort of stuff anyway. But yeah, broadcast revenues was 451,000, up from 293. and corporate and hospitality was 126, up from 77 or 78 nearly. And we know the competition prize money as well, but there's only 90,000, real disappointing there. But match day, commercial and retail is up 409,000, up from 295. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of improvements on sponsorships we get this year. Maybe even more so next year once we're established in the expanded stadium as well, and reputation probably be up a little bit more again. But yeah, new scouting budget. You've been allocated a new scouting budget of 48,500 for the forthcoming season. The board have indicated that there is no restrictions in place regarding scouting. So recruitment team, 6 members. Have they increased? They have. They've increased the numbers again. So I requested an increase. They increased it, and now we've been increased again. No, we haven't. No, sorry. One's an extra scout and one's technical director, of which we have made an appointment. Lee Coulson, a 52-year-old technical director, will be coming in for us. He has a judging staff ability of 17 and a negotiating of 13. So with him in place and a judging staff ability of 17, we will, we can be rest assured that we'll be getting the best possible staff in that we can get. And it's a responsibility that he can take. I don't need to worry about, and I can be assured that he should be bringing in as good a staff as we could possibly be getting. So yeah, I'll be happy to be paying 1,200 a week for that responsibility to be taken elsewhere. Right, so that is all the information we've got at the moment, and keep on moving forwards. Right, and we've had some staffing numbers updates for us. So we have had a little increase in our coaching numbers from 7 to 8, and we have I don't know why scouting here is showing up as red. It has been increased from 2 to 3. I'm not sure why it's showing up red, to be honest. Performance analysts, we've gone from 1 to 3. I don't really know why we need 3 performance analysts, but apparently we do. Recruitment analysts, we can get 2 of now, and we can also obviously get the technical director, which we have got. So if we look at our staff, we've got plenty of free slots here. 2 of these are performance analysts. Still don't really get why. One of them is a coaching slot as well. And then we have space over here for recruitment analysts and scouts. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to let our technical director fill these slots, and hopefully in pretty quick, good time, we should start to see these slots being filled, and then over more time, anyone that he deems is replaceable with a better staff member, he will start doing that as well for us. So that should all be better. With his ability in judging staff ability, yeah, we should always really be hoping for the best staff members we could possibly get, which is only going to help us keep on performing as well as we can and heading in the right direction all the time. Yeah, so that's that update. Yeah, if we get any movement on that, I will let you know. All right, so the technical director has started making some changes already. Well, not changes so much, but has started getting to work already. He's only been in the job for a week, and he has hired a performance analyst. Now, we haven't had a performance analyst before. That's one of the new ones, right? Oh, no, it's not. We've already had one. So if we just go in and compare the 2, performance analyst So we need to mental attributes, I think, and analyzing data. So, all right, the guy I brought in before had 11. This guy's got 10. So he's pretty much on par with what we've already got. But I'm confident that we will be getting in quality staff members. There's not much better you can get than 17 for judging staff abilities, and we can only work within what we can attract as well. There's going to be a ceiling there anyway. So yeah, I'm happy to see things starting to come in. So we need another performance analyst, a set piece coach, and another coach, and another scout, and 2 recruitment analysts as well. And then after that point, hopefully you get all those done. And then if we can improve in any areas of what we've already got, then he'll start making changes in those areas as well. All right, so we'll keep moving on. And literally with a click of the button, our second new staff member is through the door as well. Lewis Lindley is in the door as a recruitment analyst. So analyzing data of 11 and judging player ability of 12. Yeah. So with the other guy as well, Kavanagh. I don't even know how to say Kavanagh. I don't know. Caldridge. Obviously, their tactical knowledge comes into play as well. So if we were to look at the guy I had him before, I don't think his tactical knowledge is actually as good as this new guy. It's not. It's only an 8. So I think overall, the new guy is better than what we had before. So yeah, definitely getting the right sort of caliber staff members through the door. So yeah, 2 new members in 2 days. 2 days? About that? Or was it 1 day? 1 day. Same day. 2 staff members. Same day. So yeah, things are happening. Well, that's a little bit annoying. One of our youth prospects, or at least youth academy members, has been poached by Port Vale down in League 2. We will get some compensation if he goes on and plays games for him. Only up to 50,000 though. So I'm imagining he must be reasonably good prospect, that is. But yeah, a little bit frustrating. It'd be nice if we could maybe poach a few players here and there. That'd be good. Anyone got any suggestions? I don't know where to get them from. Right, we are now on the 23rd of June. The window's been open for about a week or so now. Haven't made any signings, not really got in close to having any signings. Did look at a couple of players and had a couple of players on loan. Quite interested in both of them, but one of them being Charlie Patino, who was of Arsenal, spent time at was it Cardiff or Swansea? I can't remember, one of the two. But yeah, he in this world he'd moved to Everton for 4.1 million. I don't know if that actually happened in real life, but 4.1 million, and then he was released on a free. So yeah, we had him in on trial to have a closer look at him. Everything looked good, and it was one of those situations again. He wanted a little bit over £3,000 a week. Our highest earner is currently on £2,500 a week, and even though we could get up there now, I think I was allowed to go up to something like 3.4. I think if that would have pretty much wiped out any extra wage budget we had available currently. So I decided I'll pull out of that, trying to keep hold of him for a bit longer, see if his wage demands will come down. And then Exeter came in for him from League 2 and snapped him up for 1.9 thousand a week. I mean, it's just like a virtual slap in the face, isn't it? And then we got our reputation sort of letter come through that our reputation has gone up, so we have climbed a little bit. However, it's still just not good enough at all. So below us, we only have 2 League 2 sides, Grimsby and Harrogate. And we even still have a National League team higher than us on reputation. Other than that, any and all Football League teams are rated higher than we are. I mean, we've climbed to this point, so that is something, but it's still pretty much as bad as it could be for the level we're at. And I can only imagine how more ridiculous it would have looked if we had gone up to the Championship next season. I mean, it's a long way to climb until you get to the first Championship side. So we need a real good cup run, financially and reputation-wise. Would do ourselves the world of good, and another successful season will obviously help push us up. We need to be mingling with the clubs that we're battling with, because we're battling for the same sort of players, and we're just not going to get them if we don't have the reputation. So yeah, it's really disappointing to have not, or be the position we're in currently, after we've done so well season after season, and still see us struggling to be more reputable than National League teams. It's a bit of a kick in the crotch, to be honest with you. But we can't do much about that. Just hope that we can improve it again season on season, and that's what we'll try and do. Well, it's going to be another one, I think. So Tim Aragbunham, he's also in on trial with us. I think he looked like an awesome player. Would have been really good coming in place of like Cafu. Definite upgrade. So would have Charlie Patino. Slightly more attacking for Charlie Patino and slightly more defensive for Tim here. And I feel like they would have been really great alongside Dean Hoy. It would have been a really good, solid midfield three with a few sort of backup players around them as well. Exeter have come in with a bid. Do you know how much he wanted to sign for us? £8,000 a week. £8,000 a week. I might rage quit if he signs for Exeter in the league below for like anything less than, well, it should be anything less than £8,000 a week. They can't afford that. They shouldn't be able to afford that. I mean, if we have a look at him, who's their highest earner? Highest earners on 3,100. And that's a fringe player. Oh god, it drives me insane that it's handicaps you so much in this way. This goddamn game sometimes just infuriates me. There's no good reason. They're pretty much next to us in the reputation rankings as well, stature rankings, whatever. And there's no good reason why he won't sign for us for anything less than 8,000, but will sign for Exeter for maybe just a couple of thousand. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, there's not going to be anything I can do about this. I'll come back and rant a bit more, because a couple of clicks and he will have signed for him for a ridiculously low amount of money, even though he wanted to take us to cleaners for £8,000 a week. So we'll see. All right, guys, we have officially ticked over into the new season, so 2028 to 2029 season, and we've had our final adjustments. So the wage budget has actually been round down, I think, to 38,000 a week, and 220 transfer budget as well. It's not great. Not great at all. Pretty much on par with what we had to work with last season, enough to really get in one extra decent player. And here we are with plenty of players set for release who just aren't up to the mustard anymore, and no new players on the horizon to come in yet. So let's just have a look where we are placed in the bookies odds for survival. And at least we're not rock bottom. It is newly promoted Newport County who take up last place, but we sit pretty close. Well, not odds wise, but 200 to 1 to go down, considering we finished 5th last season. This is all a bit stupid and ridiculous, really. No players in the Media Dream 11 as of yet, but we should at least have some key players down on this list. If not, then it's there we go. Sebastiano, Reggie Reganato, and Finley Herrick. No Armani Richards, who got so many accolades last year. No. Surely a player like that should be on there. Because we just had the signings of the season. Where did they go? Oh, there we are. Signings of the season. So also, as well as Armani Richards getting the signing of the season, runners up was Mohamed Sinenkaya and Sebastiano Reggie Reganato as well. So, it's all a little bit rigged towards more reputable teams, I think, personally. But yeah, we're just going to have to prove them wrong. Like we did last season, we'll come in strong, we'll make good signings, and we will try and do one better than we did last season. So yeah, on with the search for those improvements that are seeming a little bit hard to find this transfer window, but we keep on looking. Well, everyone, it is the next day. I've been working tirelessly to try and find the right players to make next season a successful one. But I just wanted to come in and go through a few youth players, basically, that I searched out last season. I'm not sure if I actually got around to putting that in any of the videos. So I just thought I'd go through it right now and cover them. So basically, I'd gone through a number of different agents lists and searched out young players that I could basically get in for nothing, or nothing up front, and maybe a few thousand over a few installments, because we literally had no money. So we did get a few people in. The most expensive one being here, Mark Livingston, 6,000 from Crusaders, and that's over a few payments. Literally, we had nothing, so I couldn't offer him anything up front. But yeah, it was just basically to bolster out our youth team. We didn't have enough of our own players to even field a full under 18 squad, so I wanted to bring in some additions, especially as our recruitment isn't very good anyway. So yeah, I went and I stole, but it took work to do, and it wasn't just anyone. There wasn't just like a list of available kids that you had. You gotta put some work in to find ones, and ones that are actually worth paying a little bit of money for and bringing in. Michael Clark from Worthing, 3,000. Already looking like he is developing quite nicely. So they're both 17 there. Brian Ferris from what was that? Limavady United. Yeah, and he's actually he's got quite a nice bit of potential there for a goalkeeper. Only 17 years old, and doesn't look great on the attributes graph there. But we'll see how it develops over the next couple of years or so. Potentially get him out on a loan when he's 18. As with all of these, if they're showing the right sort of potential. Next is Matthew Ewart from Distillery, and yeah, he's a left back with bags of potential apparently. Again, 17 years old. Value's already shown up at 375,000 to 850,000, which I think just shows he's got quite a nice bit of potential there. What are these other guys showing up as? Not quite the same ballpark. Yeah, not quite as much as Matthew Ewart. Yeah. All right. And then there was Shay Smith as well. And yeah, he's coming from Ballamallard United. Ballamallard? Ballamallard? Something like that. Ballamallard United. And yeah, a 17-year-old again, he's looking quite smart, bags of potential. Hopefully he would develop quite nicely. But I just wanted to see a bit more group potential in the under 18s and see them maybe do a little bit better in their under 18s league as well. Right, go back there actually, and let's have a look at what's been going on so far. So we've had a few go out. Mehmet Halim never really developed into a player. I thought he might be able to, but he was a bit of an outside possibility. But he is gone for free to that place, Elazığspor. And then there's Kavan Kessel. He's gone on a free. Didn't really end up having that much progression as a youth candidate, and he's gone to St. Notes. And then there's Harry Lee, who threw his toys out of the pram because he, yeah, just threw his toys out of the pram really. And it's a bit of a shame because I did like the way he developed. He didn't develop quite as quick as Elijah Morgan. Both came in at the same time. One left back, one right back. Yeah, he was a little bit behind the curve compared to Elijah Morgan, but he had been developing the last year or so quite nicely. But yeah, he threw his toys out the pram, and we had to let him go all the way down to 50,000, even though really his valuation was, I think it was about, originally at that time, I think it was up to 450,000. But I could not find anyone interested in him to go. So, you know what? We got him on a free. 50,000, probably paid majority of his wages for the time he was with us. So, you know, we got his contribution for free, basically. Right. Elsewhere already this season, not a lot has gone on. But first of all, Jack Bignall, another young player, 18 this time. He's come in after being released by Liverpool and showing really, really good looking player there, really. Not pacey, but, you know, nice attacking in his technicals and vision, and his just defensive play, and bags potential again. So he's in, and he will start out playing with the under 18s and under 21s. And then first real boy player we've got in is Lemar Gordon. And yeah, I'm really excited about this guy. I think he looks absolutely fantastic. I think he looks like the best player we've ever had come through the doors at Farnborough. Star-wise, he's apparently on par with Armani Richards, but with more potential. He's only 22, so yeah, he's still got some developing to go. Enjoys big matches, and yeah, I mean, with stats like 16 dribbling, 13 first touch, 13 passing, 15 technique, 16 flair, 16 vision, 13 off the ball, 12 teamwork, 13 decisions, 14 composure. Anticipation's a little bit low compared to other things, but still good. Yeah, I think he is going to be really, really good for us next season. So yeah, just I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to fit all the players in together at the moment. It depends who we get in still. We've got plenty of players on trial, plenty of offers kind of going in as well. But if we can keep getting players like this through the door, yeah, we're going to be laughing, and I think we will be sailing our way to at least a comfortable playoff finish next season. So we're just going to have to see, really. And where else? What else have we done? Can you think what else we done? Well, we got various offers in as well. We're trying to offload a load of players. Players like little Henry, Timmy Davies, G as well. Sad to see him go. However, the players that we could get in front of him now are just next level, unfortunately. So I'll let him go with a blessing so he can go and get first team football somewhere else. And that goes for a bunch of the players as well. Players like Caden Voice, Takarira, Preston Fearon, who else? Akagbu, and yeah, a few others maybe as well. But yeah, just trying to trim the fat around the club, free up a bit more money, because like wages didn't really go up much. But if we're going to get players in like this, Lamar Gordon, he's not even in it as our highest paid player, 2.2 thousand. It's still a lot of money. It is, but I think he's totally worth it. So yeah, fingers crossed, we're going to get a few more players in like this. But yeah, I'll be back to let you know.